Y'all ready? Y'all feeling all right?
What's that sound?
It's a hip-hop Cloverleaf podcast.
Hop Cloverleaf.
What up? Let's go.
Cloverleaf podcast.
Thank you for tonight. Yes.
You are now listening to the Hip Hop Cloverleaf podcast.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome back to the Hip Hop Cloverleaf podcast. We are your hosts. I am EC.
And it's your boy O.
And today we have a dope lineup for you guys. We got This Day in Hip Hop. We're going to talk about an artist come up, a local artist by the name of Cool Nutz. We're going to end the episode with a trivia quiz about women in hip hop. Stay tuned. Yo, what up, man?
What's goody?
What's good, man? Welcome back to the Hip Hop Cloverleaf podcast. 4 leaves, 4 elements.
Y'all know the drill. What's good,
is.
EC?
What's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. It's beautiful outside. It's
Yeah, it really is,
episode 11. We lit. I'm lit.
It's officially springtime.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so hopefully sunny days are approaching, man. Like today. All right, man, let's get this show started. We're going to start with This Day in Hip Hop. So March 31st, 2019, something crazy happened. Tragic death of a rapper, Nipsey Hussle, man.
On March 31st, 2019, Nipsey Hussle was shot 10 times, at least 10 times in the parking lot.
Wow.
In front of his own store, the Marathon Clothing. That's insane, man. Just to think about that day specifically. I was at your house when all this what happened. I remember seeing notifications about Nipsey Hussle being shot, and I'm not gonna lie, like at the time, like I knew who Nipsey Hussle was.
Yeah.
I didn't know how big of an artist he was. Yeah. I didn't think he was that big until I saw a lot of people, and that's a touchy topic when you talk about artists and deaths and things like that,
for sure.
Because like their music, right? It gets this like, oh my gosh, they died. It's like
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
it gets played more, and it's a touchy subject for sure.
Just because like where were you when they didn't die?
They
were you
didn't,
listening? Or you listening just because they died? I don't know. It's well. I'm actually glad that Nipsey is getting more recognition now that he's passed, because a lot of what he was doing is true to his not only his own brand but himself. Like the Marathon continues, just thinking about the clothing line. Not only that, just like his life really was dedicated to a marathon. It was his own marathon, and he changed that, and he opened up a business where ex-convicts can come in and get jobs, and then he's also providing clothing for people who want it, and they're repping something that they truly believe in. So looking at that, I think that's a pretty good legacy. And that's just like one aspect of it. We haven't even talked about like the music side of it. But
yeah, man. Fuck, man. Nip, I remember. I think he was in the same double XL freshman class as Kendrick, if I remember right. Because I remember they came up together. To me, I wasn't like I didn't listen to a whole lot of Nip before he passed, but I still rocked with him. I definitely knew of him. I definitely knew of his projects. I remember the album he dropped, the last one before he passed. The
Victory Lap?
Yeah, Victory Lap. That was his debut. It's just crazy. After so many years, this was his debut album, which is crazy. But I really liked the album a lot, and I remember that's the one I really played. And even before his passing and everything, and then of course when he passed, I went back for it as well. If I remember him coming up back in the day.
What does the marathon mean to you?
I think that's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's I think it's evident to see how he lived that. But to me, it's man, life goes on. Like you said, he left behind a legacy, so he made sure to leave something behind. And I think that's the way you got to approach life. Is just make sure you're leaving something behind, because you just never know. You never know, man. One day you're gonna be gone like that, and what did you leave behind for your kids, for your fam, for anybody who who rocked with you? So I think that's what it means to me.
The marathon to me means no matter what, things are always gonna get in your way. It's just how are you going to move forward? How are you going to react to those things that happen to you? So to me, it's just,
deep.
just keep going. Like, no matter, take the little progression, even if it's, no matter how small it is, just continue to go. The marathon. Continue.
I actually visited his store after he passed. This was about a year ago. I was down there and I went by his store, and it was dope, man. It was dope to see his mural. He has a mural out there. There's hella people, of course, out there. And I think that's every day. There's a lot of people there every day, just checking out his stores, just being there. Like, damn, knowing that he got shot right in front of his store is crazy, man. We can get into the whole story and everything, but like, I just want to appreciate his legacy and make sure that that people remember him.
The marathon continues, though.
Shout out Nip.
The marathon continues, y'all.
All right, man. So let's go into the artist come up. We actually, all right. Being that we are based out of Portland, Oregon. We want to get back to community. We want to make sure we want to highlight Portland, because I know in the hip hop scene, Portland is not big. It's not
it's not a LA. It's not New York. It's not Atlanta. It's his own thing.
It's his own thing. Saying that, we have a local artist for you. He goes by the name of Cool Nutz. Yeah. So this artist, he's huge. He's big. He's been around for a while. Cool Nutz, real name Terrence Scott. He's much more than just a rapper. He's a radio personality. He's an entrepreneur. He's a tour manager. He's a record label owner. He was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. He comes out of the Woodland neighborhood in Portland. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that neighborhood. Coming up, he gained a lot of knowledge from everything that was around him, from gangs, from violence. He's very in touch with the Bay Area as well. So, but I think it's dope that, because you can say, I'm from the Bay Area, I'm not from Portland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he had that choice, but from seeing, and I, reading up on him and everything, he makes sure to say that I'm from Portland. Like, I'm not from the Bay. I fuck with the Bay. I go down there a lot. I have friends over there, but I'm from Portland. He co-founded a record label called Just Family Records in 1992 with another person called Bosco Conte. His music, I would say, is more of like a G-funk feel to his music. Definitely. Yeah.
As soon as you say that, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. He reminds me a little bit of what's his name? Warren G. Kind of that kind of lane,
Yeah.
He's also been like I said, a big advocate for the Bay Area, specifically San Francisco. In 1995, he co-founded a hip hop festival called Pohop. It's abbreviation for Portland Hip Hop. And he works hard to maintain a Portland hip hop scene. And this is one thing I really appreciate about him. Like we said, one of our goals is to highlight the Portland hip hop scene. This is exactly what he does. He does that through his radio show. He does that through that festival, and it's dope. I've never personally been to this festival, but now that I know of it, I'm definitely gonna check it out in the future.
I think, and they do it. I think at the Roseland Theater, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think that's how they do it. Cool Nutz became. He claims that becoming an artist kind of happened like on accident. He started off making records like as a hobby and like just getting behind the microphone and doing things, and then just as time went on, it started getting a little more serious, and then he eventually made a decision to try to make money off of it, and for it to stop being a hobby and be a career instead. And luckily for us that he chose it as a career, because he's put out some good stuff.
Yeah. I've been listening to him in the last few days ever since we started doing this episode. And he has dope music. He has dope music for sure. And like I said, he's worked with many big artists. A few of them from the Bay, specifically. He's worked with E40. He's worked with the Yukmouth. I don't know if you're familiar with him. But those are like kind of like bigger names that he's worked with. And you know what? Being that is March 31st, Nipsey, he actually has a song with Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, sure.
Which is pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. I think that's hella dope to be able to work with an artist like him. He started off with a group of friends that have evolved him into the person that he is today. If you're from Portland, you know that it's not a big hip hop scene.
Not at all.
As far as music goes, I think it's more into like the rock lane, the rock punk lane. I think Portland gets that stereotype of being like a weird city.
Yeah,
and there's a show. I don't know if have you ever seen Portlandia?
I've heard of it. I never watched it.
I've seen a few episodes, and I don't know. It adds a perspective for sure, and I think that has a big thing to do with it. But like I said, there weren't many opportunities here as far as music goes. You got the LAs, you got the New Yorks, you got the Atlantas, you got the Miami, the big cities. And taking that into perspective, Portland is not that big.
It's not. I'm trying to think of what Portland's really, as far as like big league stuff. Like even in basketball, like we have like the Blazers, but even then, there's like small market. Not as big as anywhere else.
Cool Nutz, he took inspiration from the Bay Area, and he closely watched those Bay Area rappers, and he studied them, and the way they were moving in the music scene, and the way they put out music and everything. So he really studied them to bring that back to his hometown, and kind of get his thing popping. He hung out with these artists. He networked a lot with rock artists actually in Portland. And like I said, it was more of Portland's more of like a rock. When you talk about music, it's more like a rock scene. I think that's dope that he didn't, because you can easily say like, hey, Portland is not really a hip hop scene. Like,
I'm gonna just go to the Bay Area.
I'm just but him taking inspiration from those artists that are actually here, even though it's not his genre, I think it's dope that he was able to connect with them and kind of study them a little bit, because at the end of the day, they're doing the same thing. They're making music, even though it's different type of music, and they're trying to get known, right? Of course. So
I think I was reading up on the same article, and it's like you're saying, he would study the rock artists because they have the same obstacles that the hip hop artists would. But now hip hop isn't as well known as it is in other cities. So now he has to take, it's like an extra step that he has to make. But, looking at the rock artists and seeing how they function and how they communicate with like record stores, he takes a little bit off of that. And I know he mentioned at one point that he was managing 50 different record stores from his own basement.
Damn,
and not
crazy.
Okay, so when I say managing 50 different record stores, I'm not saying he is like the head of each record store, but I'm saying like the distribution for his music to get in 50 different record stores. So damn, that's hard. I think it's hard enough to get it into one, but imagine doing 50. Shysters.
Yeah, and eventually he started dealing with like you said, a lot of independent stores like that, but it started becoming outside of Portland. He started dealing with big independent stores, like some of the examples are Sam Goody, Tower Records, Music Land, Music Millennium, and that's actually in Portland, Music Millennium. But yeah, he started dealing with these types of stores outside of Portland, and eventually, he grew his business, and that's dope. That's dope as fuck. At this point, it's 2021. He's been around since the 90s, man, which is crazy. And at this point, you would ask, what is the secret to his longevity? And there's an interview that he did where he answered this question straight up, and he said that he knew from the beginning it was not just about him. So his whole thing was, I made sure I networked with artists. I made sure I did things for artists, and out of love, out of genuine love. And I think that goes a long way with any kind of business, man. You just he worked with other local artists. He put people on through his radio show. He played local artists on his radio show, and he made sure to show the love, man. And I think that comes back around at any point in life.
No matter what business you're doing, I feel like if you're not doing it out of love and you're doing it more for like the money or just more shallow reasons to stay relevant, then it's not going to be successful. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be good for you if there's nothing behind that.
Yeah.
I want to read a quote that he says, and he says, "In my music, I was never doing anything where I could play myself out. I just make solid music. I'm not getting a mouthful of gold teeth and rapping like I'm from Atlanta. The thing is, once the fat goes out, what do you have to hold yourself down?" And I think that's wow, facts. Like if you're not doing it, it kind of goes back to the point, like doing it out of love. You're not copying anybody. You're genuinely putting out your own style, and you're doing it because you like it and you think this is dope. You know what I mean? Like you're being true to yourself, and then that's gonna translate to people are gonna hear you being true to yourself, and they're gonna appreciate it that much more.
Yeah, and at the same time, that you also have to take into account is like, you have to take into account that music changes, right? And you have to know, you kind of have to stay up with what's the thing, now in music. And I think that's one of the things he also said, where he understood the times in music and how it changes. And like you said, he stayed authentic to himself. He didn't try to go for, what's popping now, but he still has those elements in his music, and I think that's important because who wants to make in 2021 an album that sounds like it was made in 1980 or something,
right? That's great. Like especially being in the music since the 90s. So you're thinking 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, and then now we're getting into a new era of sound. Yeah. And he's probably gonna still be making some stuff. Probably not as much music as he was before, but I'm pretty sure like if he has a radio show, he has to know. He's got to be in the know. So that's pretty cool.
So I want to touch, like we said, he started this festival in Portland called the Pohop. So I kind of want to touch on what that really is and how that started. There's a quote by Cool Nutz himself that he answers the question of how he started this Pohop festival. And I quote, he says, "My friend came to me and said, 'You are one of the most visible people in the city and one of the most powerful people in terms of your voice and what you could do.' And he said, 'I got an idea. We could do an event called the Pohop. Basically, what I'm going to do is use what you're doing to facilitate this idea and for you to not only build a platform for local artists, but for people to also see the power that you have to make bigger and better things.' We put this Pohop together, man, and it popped." That's a quote from him himself. Now, he also says, "I've done Pohop for 13 years. That opened up a whole new door for me because it showed me exactly how much ability I had. But I could rent a club, get all these artists, put a show on here, and get the newspaper to write about it and put us on the cover of a newspaper and get sponsors."
Right.
And he says, "And I can make all these things happen through one event. So if I channel that into multiple events and different things with my career, it only opens up more doors." And I think that's dope as fuck, man. It makes me want to check out this. Like I said, I've never been to this Pohop. It's the first time actually just doing this research, hearing of it. So I think that's dope as fuck, man. Just putting up local artists. Like I said, Portland is not big in hip hop. So just doing that just amazes me how much effort that goes into you know what, I'm from Portland. Like let's put this on the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And not even like, what I'm thinking is, okay, so Portland's not known for hip hop, but it doesn't mean that people in Portland don't listen to hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like that's freaking dope. I remember, what's it called? So you were talking about the newspaper, and I was doing some of the research. I came across what the Pohop was, and some guy named I remember his name, but he wrote in an article in the Oregonian. So this is what they described. Teenagers spilled onto the sidewalk outside the backspace shortly after 7 p.m. It was an impressive mix of young girls in dresses ready to booty dance in the coffee shop, art gallery, venue, bar, to hipsters sporting skate shoes and vintage glasses, to tough guys with big coats and tattoos on their shaved heads. To me, that sounds like a hater. Like that sounds like somebody who doesn't know what's going on. But you know what I mean? So if you're thinking about some not a blind guy, but someone who doesn't know anything about hip hop and he's on the outside looking in, that's what you're gonna see. But I think like if you are actually someone who's going to this festival, it's way more than bald guys with their head shaved and girls ready to booty dance. But you know what? Whatever that means.
But you know what? That's kind of the crowd in Portland. Like, to be honest, like that's the type of crowd you expect to see in a place like Portland. Mm-hmm. Jay-Z was a huge inspiration for Cool Nutz in the business sense of it. There's the interview, the same interview that we did research on. He explained how Jay-Z, he just looks up to Jay-Z a lot because of the way he does his business, the way he moves. Jay-Z has been in the game for, I don't know, at this point, hella years. You get to see what all the different business ventures that Jay-Z goes into. He has the title deal. He has, all kinds of stuff. He has, liquor deals, all kinds of shit. So I think that's dope. A lot of people look up to Jay-Z for sure. And that's the case for Cool Nutz. He used this Pohop festival to promote local artists, like I said. But in all the years running this, the festival has included performances also from big artists as well. Some of these artists are like E40, like I said, Freeway, Chris Calico. He's from Tech Nine's group. Jake One, dope ass producer. Even the late legendary Mac Dre.
Damn.
So yeah, man, he's had some big names up in there. And just thinking of like the concerts that I've been to in Portland, just knowing like, damn, this artist actually came to Portland. That's crazy. Yeah, he's held up to 1,000 people in the past at this festival. So it's a big thing, man. It's a big thing, and that might not seem like a lot, but in the Portland sense of it, it's huge.
I think no matter what, if you have 1,000 people, if you're organizing an event and 1,000 people come, I could say it's pretty successful.
Yeah, man.
I mean, unless it's like a Coachella or something like that. But,
yeah,
two different things. But.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a local festival, and I think it's dope. And man, I gotta say, man, there's a lot of talent here in Portland, man. There's a lot of, not even in just hip hop. There's just talent all across the board. There's I have friends and stuff, and I'm sure you all have some friends as well that not only do the music thing, but they're also talented in different areas. You know, I have a few friends that are like really dope at graphic design. I have some friends that are really dope at, you know, different things. So I think putting Portland on the map is important, and hopefully in the future it becomes one of an LA or New York or something like that. So yeah, man, I suggest for you to go check out Cool Nutz' music. He has dope ass music, especially if you're familiar with that West Coast sound. That's what he brings to the table, and he has some dope artists in his albums. But yeah, check out Cool Nutz. Shout out Cool Nutz, man. Hopefully one day we're able to interview this guy, man. I think that's one of our goals as well. So shout out Cool Nutz. All right, so let's get into the last segment of today. We got the hip hop trivia quiz. Oh, we got the women in hip hop trivia quiz. Yes, right. Sir. If you remember, last week I went through some questions. Hearing back the episode, we realized that I did not do as good as we said.
I think we said you did 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think we only asked like 5
out of 9. So
yeah, so I mean, we'll keep
see.
Track.
We'll keep track this time.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
So today I'm not gonna do these questions. Now it's my turn to ask these questions.
Cool.
So we'll see how O does today, man. All right, so I'm gonna ask you a total of 15 questions.
Okay.
So this one's gonna be 15.
All right. Cool. I'm with that.
Let's do it. All right. So first question. Let's do it. This trio is considered to be the best female rap act of all time, winning 5 Grammys and numerous other awards for songs like "Let's Talk About Sex," "I'll Take Your Man," and "Shake Your Thing." Who is it? So the 4 choices are TLC, Salt and Pepper, JJ Fad, and L Trim.
Well, it's a trio, so I think out of all of them, I think TLC is the correct answer.
Oh, shoot. It's actually Salt and Pepper.
I think you said trio.
Pepper. It is a trio.
Oh, DJ Spinderella. I forgot about DJ Spinderella. I knew that one.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
It's all good. Let's move on to the second one. Second question. Younger sister of rappers Milk D and Gizmo of the group Audio 2. This rapper cut the tracks Cha Cha Cha, Poor Georgie, and Paper Thin. So there's 4 answers. The Brat, MC Light, Eve, or Trina.
The Brat.
He said the Brat.
Oh.
Correct answer is MC Light.
MC Light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Dang,
All
0 for 2. Not a good start.
All right. Third question. This rapper from the group Boogie Down Productions released the album Diva in 1988. Her single Wake Up, Wake Up reached the top 20 on the Billboard Hot Rap Singles chart. Who is it? Roxanne Shante, Mrs. Melody, Lil Kim, or Queen Latifah?
What's the first name of the song?
Wake Up, Wake Up.
Wake Up, Wake Up.
That's her single.
Damn. I don't think it's Lil Kim or Queen Latifah. What are the other two again?
Miss Melody or Roxanne Shante?
Let's go with the Roxanne Shante.
It's Miss Melody, man.
Jeez.
It's Melody.
Man, you can just call me Ofer. Shit.
Ofer.
Ofer 3.
Question 4. This teenage rapper gained fame by recording a revenge response to UTFO rap. She also teamed with Marley Marl to record several singles, including Have a Nice Day, Bite This, and Lucy's Rap, a collab with the late Rick James. So it's either Sparky D, The Brat, Nonchalant, or Roxanne Shante.
Let's go with the Nonchalant.
Nonchalant. It's actually Roxanne. Roxanne, man.
I guess I don't know women in hip hop.
All right. Question number...
I gotta get one. At least one.
Question number 6. A protege of rapper Queen Latifah, Simone Wilson, a British rapper, performed under this pseudonym. It's either L Trim, Moni Love, JJ Fad, or Wilson Phillips.
Let's go with Wilson Phillips. Please.
Moni Love.
Moni.
Come on, man.
She's from the UK. Oh, she's from yeah. Huh? I didn't know that. I'm just learning a lot. And all these L's for learning.
Question number 7. 5 O'Clock was the one and only hit by this Washington, D.C. native. Is it Trina, Stacy Lattisaw, Nonchalant, or Antoinette?
5 o'clock. I'm going with Trina, my girl Trina. Man, where do you get these questions from?
Oh, man. We're in question number 8 now. We are in question number 8. Adelaida Martinez was chosen by UTFO to be the official female that was rapped about in their 1984 song. What name did she go by? Roxanne Shante, The Real Roxanne, Left Eye, or Moni Love?
Let's go with Roxanne Shante. Final answer. Come on.
You're quick on that one.
Oh my God.
Correct answer is The Real Roxanne.
Oh, I'm going to go start a group with The Real Roxanne.
Man, you're doing a lot of learning today. Question number 9. This female gangster rapper got her start with Ice Cube and later had a recurring role on the show Martin as Shanae's sidekick.
Oh.
It's either Yo-Yo, Foxy Brown, Missy Elliott, or JJ Fad.
I'm trying. Yes, I think it's Yo-Yo.
Is that your final answer?
That is, I'm going to lock it in.
Correct!
Yeah,
Yo-Yo.
I knew it. I kind of knew it. I like, what's it called? I watch Martin.
Hey.
I like Martin, so.
All right, yeah, Martin's dope.
Finally, well, 1 out of, 9? Jeez.
It only took you 9 questions. It's all good. Question number 10.
Warm up.
Originally a member of the group Junior Mafia, this Brooklyn rapper is notorious for her provocative dressing habits and explicit lyrics. Come on, this is...
Lil Kim, final answer.
Correct!
Is
Yes,
the
sir.
correct answer.
I just got a hot start. See? You get, one shot goes in and I got the outcome.
Question number 11. Bunny D and Lady Tigra were one-hit wonders for their song Cars with the Boom and are better known under this stage name. Nonchalant, JJ Fad, El Trimmer, or Salt and Pepper.
So, oh, wait. What are the names again?
Nonchalant, JJ Fad, El Trim, Salt and Pepper.
Let's go with the Nonchalant.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer, Nonchalant.
Not the correct answer.
What is
It was actually El Trim.
El Trim? Dang.
I don't know if you say La Trim or El Trim, but it was them. Shout out to El Trim. Question number... Where are we at? Question number 12. Her Born Gangsta album charted the hits Deeper and Recipe for a Hoe, both of which reached number 1 on the Billboard's rap tracks chart. Is it Lil Kim, Boss, Foxy Brown, or Eve?
It was not Lil Kim, not Foxy Brown, not Eve. What was the other one?
It's Lil Kim, Boss, Foxy Brown,
Boss.
or Eve.
Let's go with Boss.
Boss. Is that your final answer?
Final answer, locking it in.
Correct!
Yes, sir.
It's Boss.
Like a boss.
Bossy Boss. All right. I
Cool.
like this. What, you got 3 correct?
So far, so good.
All right. Question number 13. We have actually 2 more questions.
Cool.
Question number 13. This rapper song, Roxanne You're Through, was a diss to Roxanne Shantae's Roxanne's Revenge. This was the first of many battles between them. Is it the Brat, Miss Melody, Roxanne, Shantae, or Sparky D?
Sparky D is the one who said that.
Oh, sound pretty confident.
Correct!
Hey, and people believe you say it with confidence. I just made that answer happen. I'm just like,
Oh, man. All right. Final question. I know I said 15, but it's actually 14.
oh,
So, question number 14. Final question. Where are we at? You got 4? correct?
4. Yeah.
Question number 14. This Miami rapper's debut single, Throw the P, was a response to 2 Live Crew's Throw the D. Her debut album, Respect, peaked at number 41 on Billboard's top R&B and hip-hop albums. Is it Anquette, Left Eye, Foxy Brown, or Trina?
What was the first name?
It's Anquette. I think that's how you say it. Anquette.
Okay. Let's go with that one.
You going with Anquette?
And quit.
Correct!
Yes,
Yes. All right, man. So you what? 4? 5?
I think I got 5. I think it was 5 out of 14.
Hey, you know what? It's all good, man.
It is all good. Hey, we were
Got a lot of
learning.
learning.
Women in hip hop. We appreciate you.
Actually, this is the last.
This was the last
episode
one. Mhm.
of this month. So, shout out all the women in hip hop. This was to to highlight all the women in hip, just women in general, But obviously, this being a hip hop show, we're highlighting women in hip hop, and we had fun doing this.
I did, yeah. We had some good ideas with like the freestyle battle.
Yeah,
it didn't come exactly to how we wanted it to come out to, but I mean, I think we did it. We did our job, and we show we highlighted women in hip hop.
Shout out all the women. All right, man. So that was the show for today. I want to thank all the listeners. Thank you guys for tuning in. We had a This Day in Hip Hop. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues. We also had artists come up, Cool Nutz. Check out the guy, man. Shout out to Portland Hip Hop. And we also had the final celebration of women in hip hop with the trivia quiz. Subscribe to our pod if you like what you hear. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at HHCloverleaf for more content, or if you want to ask us some questions, just hit us up, man.
HH Cloverleaf on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Shout out to all the hip hop heads. Shout out to all the beautiful women in hip hop, all the beautiful women in general. Shout out to all the listeners, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be signing off now. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with us, and we appreciate that. This is Hip Hop Cloverleaf. Peace.